Hi everyone! For those of you that don't know me, my name is Shameem. I'm Padmanti and Balki Uncle's daughter. I hope you guys have all had a great year at Purna Vidya and that you're excited about today's Christmas program. I am usually in Columbus every year for this program and I love it, and I'm so sorry that I have to miss it this year. Unfortunately, I didn't do the greatest job making my vacation plans and I had to leave this morning just a few hours ago before the program started. But I did want to take some time to say a few words to you guys and still, in some small way, be a part of the program. So, what I wanted to talk to you about today is my experience with Christmas over the course of my life, in the hopes that maybe some of the things I've learned can be of use and meaning to you in your own life. So from the time that I was really little, we always celebrated Christmas at my house. This was a lot before I really had a concept of what celebrating Christmas really was or what it meant, but at that point it honestly didn't matter much. I would just always look forward to putting up the Christmas tree and decorating it with my parents and putting lights outside our house and obviously getting Christmas presents and seeing the number of presents pile up under the tree as Christmas got closer. So when people asked me if I celebrated Christmas, my answer would always be, yes, I do. But as I got a bit older, the answer to that question wasn't as clear cut for me. When I was in elementary school, my parents used to invite my whole class every year to our house for Navaratri, and my friends would all see our golu, they would hear the story behind the festival, they would all take prasadam, and some of my non-Indian friends would even dress up in, salwar kamises or gagra cholis or something like that, and it was always a day that we loved. We had so much fun, my friends loved it, and it was great because it was a chance that we had to share our culture and our religion with people who weren't very familiar with it. The thing about that is that it made it very obvious that we were different. And then my friends got confused and asked me a very reasonable question. If you celebrate the doll festival, how come you still celebrate Christmas? And then that confused me because, how come I celebrated Christmas? Was I less of a Hindu? Was I being a little bit Christian? Neither, both. And then I started to wonder if maybe answering yes was not right. And so I changed my answer, and it became, yes, I do celebrate Christmas, but only the tree and the presents part, not the religious part. The problem with that is that throughout preschool, kindergarten, and the better part of elementary school, my best friend was a Catholic, and my parents and I have been to midnight mass at church on Christmas Eve with my friend and her family and participated in that fully. And that's a lot more than just the tree and the presents. That really is the religious part of Christmas. And so that was a little bit confusing. And then Christmas wasn't the only holiday, because by the end of elementary school, actually all the way until I graduated from high school, my best friend and my circle of close friends were all Jewish. And I have celebrated so many Hanukkahs too. I have said all the Hebrew prayers, I've played dreidel, I've eaten latkes and lots of other traditional foods, and I've given and received Hanukkah presents. So I was kind of coming at me from all directions growing up, and that it can be confusing. It confused me. But fortunately, the confusion eventually cleared up. When I would go to Swami Dayananda's ashram, things started to make sense for me. Every year on Christmas Day, we would all go into the Dakshinamurti temple, and right next to the altar would be this beautiful Christmas tree sitting there covered in lights and ornaments, and there'd be presents sitting underneath, and Swamiji would welcome everyone into the temple, and then he'd put on his Santa hat, and he'd ask all the kids to come to him so that he could give us candy. And we would do namaskaram to him, and then we would get our candy, and we'd all be really excited. And it wasn't just the kids either. I still do this now. The adults do it too. And that never felt confusing to me. It always felt right. And while we would sit in the temple eating our candy, Swami Tadatmananda would whip out his guitar, and then we would all sing Christmas carols together, right there in the temple. And Swamiji ultimately explained it to us pretty simply. If as Hindus we believe in that everyone and everything is God, really that there is only God, then there's no conflict. Jesus Christ is God. Adonai is God. Allah is God. And really understanding this as I got older, it made me feel so special and so lucky that, my temple has a Christmas tree, that Swamiji wears a Santa hat, that we get to sing Christmas carols, that being here in Purna Vidya, we get to have a Christmas program every year, that being a Hindu doesn't limit me, doesn't limit you from finding joy in the holidays that people of all kinds of faiths get to celebrate. So that's really that. No confusion. Celebrate Navratri, celebrate Christmas, celebrate Hanukkah, celebrate any holiday that's out there if you have the opportunity. And I hope that hearing this has hopefully made you feel a little less conflicted if this was something you felt conflicted about, or maybe embarrassed because you don't know how to answer questions that you get, or if you've ever felt guilty about celebrating something and thinking you're not being true to your religion, because you are being true to your religion by being opening and accepting and being a part of something that ultimately is a celebration. That's the question, right? Do you celebrate Christmas? Do you celebrate Hanukkah? Do you celebrate Diwali? And what could be wrong with celebrating? I hope that all of you have a wonderful Christmas, a wonderful Hanukkah, whatever holiday you are going to be celebrating this year, if any, and that everyone has a safe and happy new year and a wonderful start to 2014. I really hope that I will get to see some of you soon. Have a fun rest of the day. Bye!